9 days in hell. James arrives early to get checked in for his surgery. He's scheduled to have his radical inguinal orchiectomy at 11:34.
That morning I got there, I was a little bit nervous. I had, searched a few things online just so I would know what to expect, after the surgery. And nothing that I looked at or, read about other testimonies, nothing would have ever prepared me for what I was about to go through.
General anesthesia is typically administered to ensure the patient is asleep and pain-free. During the procedure, a surgeon makes an incision in the groin area. The incision is made along the pubic area to access the testicle. Through the inguinal canal, the surgeon locates the affected testicle and carefully separates it from the spermatic cord and other tissues. The testicle is then removed through the incision. The removed testicle is sent to a pathology lab to confirm the presence of cancer and to determine its type and stage. It typically takes about 30 to 45 minutes for the surgery.
Right after surgery, I don't remember too much because when you're coming off of anesthesia, everything's kind of cloudy. You're waking up. The only thing that sticks out in my mind is I remember one of the nurses saying that there's no way he can go home in this condition.
James didn't realize this was just the start of what would turn into a 9-day hospital stay.
The first 3 days were definitely the worst. They didn't understand the pain that I was going through. And one nurse in particular, I think she worked, with the doctor at his office. She would come in and just be like, I don't want to see you here the next day. And honestly, they really didn't understand that I didn't want to be in there the next day. But the fact was, I could not even move, my legs without feeling this searing pain. I couldn't walk. I couldn't do anything. To best describe this pain, it felt like someone was heating up a hot poker and just jamming it right into my groin area where the incision was anytime I moved my legs. The physical therapy nurses, they would try to get me up and walk around the room. Most of the time it was only 3 or 4 steps and I would turn white and be sweating really bad to the point was I was about to pass out. That is how intense the pain was. And I think it took them seeing that. It was multiple nurses coming in trying to work with me. And I think they reached back out to the doctor and explained to him, look, he is in real pain here. And I reached out to a men's group and, just to try to find out more information about this. And they recommended that, I should try the medication gabapentin, which is a nerve pain medication. The pain specialist that came in, I spoke with her. She was wanting to try muscle relaxers, which is fine with me because at that point I was willing to try anything not to be in this pain anymore. And she acted like she got a little upset, but she said she would add in the gabapentin, and they started it at 100 milligrams. Basically, it was thought that the ilioguineal nerve had become trapped by swelling tissues down in that, area. The more I looked up about it, the more it became apparent that this had to be what was going on, because nerve pain is kind of like a burning pain, and that's what it was, except it was intense. I mean, it was a level 10. They always ask you to do 1 to 10. It was definitely a level 10 pain. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a pretty tough guy, but when you're trying to get me back into bed, I holler out. I am in some serious pain for me to holler out like that. It's not something that I was making up. The doctor came back in and he talked to me, and that was the best idea that they had because they really didn't understand. Like I said, this was a surgery that usually you go home later on that day, but in my case, I did not.
Gabapentin is a medication primarily used to treat seizures and neuropathic pain. Gabapentin works by affecting chemicals and nerves in the body that are involved in the cause of seizures and some types of pain. The ilioinguinal nerve is a branch of the lumbar plexus, originating from the first lumbar nerve L1 It runs inferiorly and anteriorly to provide sensory innervation to the skin of the lower abdominal wall, the upper part of the thigh near the groin, and, in males, the root of the penis and upper part of the scrotum.
Finally, on the 9th day, I was able to get up, and it was a combination of the pain meds that I was on and the fact that I would just lay there in the bed and just gradually move my legs back and forth. And just the fact of, just the sheer willpower that I didn't want to go anywhere else. I just wanted to get home, to be with my family. After laying there and looking at the ceiling for 9 days, I didn't want to go anywhere else but to my home. The guy that was working with me, he came in there and I was able to get up, and it still hurt, but it wasn't the same pain that I was feeling the other days beforehand. So we got up, he took me into the hallway, and it felt good just to be up, just to be standing, to see something else. He took me to some stairs and I was able to walk up 4 and then go back down 4, because that's what it takes to get inside of my house. So they wanted to make sure that I was able to move to be able to, get inside of my home once I got here. We started back to my room and he was like, do you want to go back to the room now? And I was like, no, I just want to walk around a little bit more, because it felt good to be up. I was walking with a walker, but it still felt good. So we walked down the hallway, we took a left, we walked back down toward where the Skyway was. And I don't know, just to be out of that room and seeing something else, that was like the best feeling ever. We got back to the room and he said, you can sit back down on the bed if you want while I fill this out. And I'm like, nah, I just kind of want to stand here. So I was standing there with my walker and I kind of moved around a little bit. It was just a really, really good feeling, because, that was the day. It was either I was going to be transported to rehab or I was going to get to go home. And my mind was set that I was not going to go to rehab.
James was in the hospital from 1/22nd until 1/31st.
Definitely on that day going in, I would have never thought that this would have been something that I would go through. But I wanted to make this video to let others know that this is something that can happen, even though it's rare. Most people go home on the same day, but in my case, I did not. And even though this is rare, this is something that can happen. The nerve can get trapped and you'll just be in this, horrible pain that, like I said, you would not wish on your worst enemy. So if after your surgery, you feel this pain, definitely push them to try things. Don't just let them put you out of the hospital. Ask those questions, talk to them and say, hey, I cannot go through this. It was a lot. It was 9 days that I had to lay there like that, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. It was the worst pain that I had ever felt, and I've had back surgery before, so I know, what nerve pain is, but this was definitely way worse than my back surgery I had. I do want to say thank you to all the nurses. There was probably only like 2 that I wouldn't say bad nurses, but they just kind of weren't there. And I get it, not every day is going to be your best day, but out of the 20 nurses, I just want to say thank you to they were really helpful. They seemed to really care, about the situation that I was going through. They really did take good care of me. I always had my pain meds. They would always offer, fresh water, throughout the day. And, when I was coherent, and I apologize, I do not remember everyone's name, because most of those days were, a little rough. I was a little foggy, so I don't remember everyone's name, but I do want to say thank you very much. And to the guys that are going in to have this surgery done, don't let this video be like a bad thing. It's just more of a information, to you. If you feel this pain, definitely ask those questions and, talk to them about it, ask. And the name of the medication was gabapentin. That's what really helped my nerve pain out, and I was taking Tylenol and stuff like that. But I think the gabapentin was really the, medication to get me up and going again. 2 days before I left, they increased it to 400 milligrams. And I really think that, that is what done it. I was taking, like I said, I was taking the Tylenol and ibuprofen as well. But I think the gabapentin was really, really what got me through. I just want to say thanks everyone to watching this video. I did have some people reach out, and I wanted to say thank you to them for caring about my situation. Just knowing that other people care is a big help. You're not alone. To the other guys going in to have this surgery, you're not alone. Definitely down in the comments, if you have any questions for me, ask those questions. If you want to send me a like a personal email, definitely send me an email, and I don't mind talking about what happened, what I went through. And if you're going through this same situation, or if you went through this same situation, please let me know down in the comments. I would like to know if anyone else had something this terrible happen to them after their surgery. I appreciate everyone on the group that I reached out to. It was a group on Reddit for men that had the surgery as well, and I appreciate everyone's responses on there. Everyone was really thoughtful. They was really caring. They cared about my situation because they had been through it as well. So I appreciate all of those guys very much. I just want to say thank you everyone for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And to everyone who's looking for new videos coming out, we are going to have new videos coming out soon, and I'll be making more videos on this subject as well. So if you like this video, please hit like, please subscribe. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys next time.
James has now been cleared and is cancer free. He will have to go back every 6 months for a scan for the next 3 years afterwards. It will be a scan once a year.